We've been doing movie nights for
years.
So Gen Xer and
a Gen Z. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
And he crashes them.
As you do.
It's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk. This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew.
And we have returned!
So we're in Movie Box of Boom, and once again, you're kind of overlapping with Movie Box of Doom. I'm going to have to readjust again. But, no, that's okay.
Well, you had mentioned this movie to me, like, last week. My last week, actually.
Yes, your last week, because we're still kind of in the middle of the Anne Hathaway Appreciation Society.
Apparently, I suppose.
It could have just as easily been Tim Curry. But so tonight we are on
The Princess Diaries. This is a series that I have always been aware of, but hadn't actually watched or hadn't watched all the way through. Or
like seriously, I don't know how you've never seen this.
I don't know. I've seen a MatPat theory on it, and that's it. I don't
even remember when I saw this originally. I do remember that the second one, which is terrible, Mom and I were actually out of town, and we went to see it because the first one is so good. And this is Anne Hathaway. This is peak Anne Hathaway. Just like The Devil Wears Prada. This is one of her finest moments.
Yeah.
So this is the story of a young woman in the middle of San Francisco who all of a sudden discovers that she is the princess of a foreign nation, and hilarity ensues.
It's kind of legitimately like, it's Disney-esque. Oh, what would happen if you suddenly found out you were royal? It's like the start of every YN fanfiction I've ever read.
And it does feel very Disney. It is very Disney.
The humor in it is
Disney
very Disney
teen.
coded. Yeah.
But it's good Disney teen stuff. Like, there's some Disney stuff that is just insufferable. And there's some that is boring. There's some stuff like The Descendants. I liked The Descendants. I got into that.
Descendants were great. We haven't seen Descendants Red or whatever it's called.
Okay, so there is a new one. Because I saw the dolls out in the toy section at Walmart.
Yeah, I mean,
and I was wondering.
Yeah, the entire main cast, they all kind of went off and did their own thing after, one of the main cast died around the release of the third movie. So, new cast of characters, completely do everything, race swap half of the characters, which is, you can't really.
There's no
it's
point.
like it's the thing that bothers me at least is I forget her name. One of the relevant characters. It's like the daughter of the Queen of Hearts and then the daughter of Cinderella. And they race swap Cinderella, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, that doesn't necessarily bother me, except for the fact that we've already met the daughter of Cinderella in the original.
It's too soon. It's too soon to be redoing this and revamping it. And it's only been it's not been 20 years.
Yeah.
It's just too soon for that reboot.
I would even say
it should be 40 years.
If you're gonna do that, do a generational story. Give me their children. Give me the children's children. Then it's fine.
And it's and this is perfectly set up for that sort of thing. So, like I said, there's certain Disney stuff that's good. I enjoyed Descendants. High School Musical, okay. I get where it went, but this.
I had to memorize one of those songs for choir, and I still don't have it memorized.
This is something else.
Yeah.
And you know what? Part of it might be because this is, in fact, based on a book. And I don't know, I enjoyed this back in the day. I enjoyed it when it was new. This is probably my first exposure to Anne Hathaway and started my appreciation for her.
Huh.
I don't know how it is that I went all these years up until, I think 2 years ago discovering that, wait a minute, there's a book? Wait a minute, there's 12 books?
Yeah, and, that's the thing. I'm trying to remember... see, one of my friends back in middle school, Hannah, she was a big reader. And when we initially started talking about this about 2 weeks ago, I was like, I think my friend Hannah read this book. But no, I think it was Diary of a Middle School Princess.
Yeah, it was something else.
I don't think it was these in particular.
But nevertheless, it sent me down this particular rabbit hole. And like I said, there's a dozen books on this, as well as side quests. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into a little bit of that from Meg Cabot, who is the official biographer of the Princess of Genovia. That is how she refers to herself in these books. In the meantime, let's just talk about the movie. And look, the movie kind of... It's not the book, but it doesn't stray remarkably far.
Yeah,
there's elements from a couple of books in it, so it's not terrible. It's broader appeal. Yeah. Much like we were talking about before the podcast. I sat down and I read The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Which I hated.
Yeah, you really didn't enjoy that, did you?
I can't stand that book. I love the movie, but I can't. The book is just... Miranda Priestley is so much more aloof. She doesn't have the redemption arc that we get in the movie. And Andy is just a feckless 20-something. Again, there's so much different in the book. And the movie reframed it for broader appeal, which I appreciate because I enjoy the movie. This is kind of the same way, not to the same extent, but it's kind of the same way. We've got... we start off with a Supergirl song, which I had no idea.
Yeah. See, okay, so for the longest time, when you would bring me and my sister to, conventions, you have, a set playlist for cons and anime
we've got the hype playlist,
such.
Stuff to get us in the mood and get us there.
It's we have the initial one. I want to,
and there's
sing
a Supergirl song
but yeah,
in there.
It's
I'm Supergirl, I'm fabulous.
Flashing lights may stop and stare.
This is not that song.
No, it's different. It's more of a jazzy, upbeat tune.
How have I not noticed this?
How have I not discovered this? Why is this one not on the playlist?
But again, the music in this is, like you said, it's very Disney coded.
Yeah.
It's very poppy and stuff like that. And we get elements like, rock climbing was interesting at the time. It was just starting to catch on, so we've got to throw that in there.
Yeah, I get that. I almost feel like, because you were saying how it's they're just throwing it in because it's popular. I almost think it brings more realism to the movie or makes it seem more, live day if that's what's popular. Oh, yeah, this is what's popular. So these characters are probably doing this as well. Make them more relatable, I guess.
It's also interesting that we're kind of redefining what a princess is. Now, we've really deconstructed that in the last 10 years. I think Frozen is where the real deconstruction of the princess comes. I don't need a man. I don't need a prince.
Okay, here's the thing. I may need to show you something.
It can be hard when people tend to look down on the dreams of princesses just because they fell in love.
I've got to admit, lately I'm feeling I'm not the right fit. Do I still have what it takes to stay a princess with you? Has the world changed too much since I put on that shoe? There's so many ways to be a princess, and so many manners to inspire. There's so many ways to be heroic and brave. Your courage and kindness I admire.
Well, and even in this video that you're showing me, there seems to be somebody struggling between those two, between the deconstruction, and between the traditional. So it's, and I don't feel like we're getting that here with the Princess Diaries. I feel like they've struck the exact balance that you're talking about in this song about there's so many different ways to be a princess. And I think that's interesting because some things can't be deconstructed. Some things don't work in deconstruction. We've talked about this before. Superman doesn't work as deconstruction. Batman does. And
that's true. One has mental illness, one does not.
the princess trope, I think you can pull it apart so far, to a degree. And I think that's where we're going here.
Yeah,
like I said, I think it almost strikes the balance of that video that you're showing.
Like, we get to see a balance of, well, the chaos, that not everything is perfect, not everything is quite perfect, I suppose you could say.
Well, I think that's one of the more fascinating parts about it.
That's true. Like, there's
two, like, in the comic book genre, there's two things that make me think of. First, it's the greatest American hero. Now, we did that.
We did do that,
a few months back. And if we go further through that series, you'll kind of see what I mean by this. But it's also Shadow Man. That's, like, in my top 5 all-time favorite comic books. Both of those they illustrate really effectively how being a superhero will completely destroy your life.
Yeah.
It will completely mess up everything.
Actually, I know it's been a while, but do you remember when we were watching Miraculous Ladybug?
Yes.
We talked about this a lot with some of the... Because I think we only got as far as, like, season 2, maybe partway through season 3. We didn't watch a lot of it. But what we did watch, we actually did talk about that, how it's constantly interrupting your life. It's constantly messing things up. The only way it really works is if you're, heroes that are working together. But even then, it's like, you can't live a normal life.
No, it could destroy everything. It's not making everything better. And that's one of the things we see with Mia. Becoming a princess does not make everything better. The fabulous makeover that she gets from the dad in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
It does not make everything better. In fact, it kind of makes it almost a little worse.
It draws attention to her, attention that is unwanted for the introverted, quiet, please don't look at me energy that she carries. Like, oh man, I feel so bad for her. She just wants to be left alone.
It's not just that. It's like, okay, it didn't make her accepted. It didn't make her popular.
At least not popular in the right kind of popular.
It made the opportunists show up.
That's true.
But that is it. And it's just, it's interesting to see. Because the dream that Disney sold us for so many years is, if I was a princess, everything would be perfect. Everything would be okay. And this is peeling behind that.
It's almost like, I forget the name of the song, but there's a lyric, like, Disney taught me that, like, Disney taught me to search for my true love, but now, man, I'm gonna have to look up what that song lyric is.
Disney taught me that wild animals would come and clean my house. And I really don't appreciate those particular lies.
They tricked me, had me wishing on a shooting star, but now I'm 20-something, and I still know nothing about who I am or what I'm not. But yeah, something like that. It's just,
You know what? Actually, let's hold on to that, because I think I want to come back to that.
Okay.
After we talk a little bit about let's talk about, like, some of our characters here.
I was gonna say, talk about my hatred for some, if not most, of this cast.
You're in high school. It's just...
I'm not in high school.
High school, and I'm not bitter about high school, but I don't have really any interest in talking to anybody that I went to high school ever again. Most of the people that I would be interested in talking to are dead. So it's just, no. It's...
You know what? I'm just gonna go off and spouting here for a moment. Most of her friends in this movie kind of suck. If not, like, her best friend. I'm so terrible with names. Lily. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. Lily. As we're watching through this, especially towards the end, I'm watching this girl and I'm like, she is not supportive in the slightest throughout any of this. Now,
no, Lily is bad, especially after the makeover.
And here's the thing, like, I understand the difference between thinking you're going to lose your friends and worrying about that sort of this. Lily insults her when she gets her makeover, proceeds to ignore her when she gets popular, proceeds to go against her in the classroom when you should be defending your friend, but no, you're bringing attention to her instead. Towards the end of the movie, she's literally being bitter about the entire thing. Yes, I understand feeling like you're losing your friend. Yes, I understand getting frustrated. No, you don't have a right to talk to her like this. It's not her fault. She did not ask for this. She did not ask for any of this to happen. You have no right to speak to her that way. If that was me, I would have left her right then and there. I would have slapped her across the face. You were not going to talk to me like that.
It's the assumption. It's the assumption that because you got a makeover, you've suddenly turned into one of the plastic Barbie girls.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, or one of the mean girls, literally. Like,
Mia did not do that. Mia was not plastic just because she got her hair straightened and her eyebrows clipped.
If anything, it made her more clumsy.
It kind of did. And this is when she genuinely needed Lily. So, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Just,
now, there's all, and it's even this message in the middle, it's like, where Mia cones one of the cheerleaders, throws the ice cream at her. You know what? I'm a freak. I may grow out of that. You'll never stop being a jerk, though. There's observations on human nature like that I think are absolutely fascinating.
You can't let anyone upset you than you allow them to, or something. You
can't allow anyone to make you feel inferior
there
without your permission.
Yeah,
and that's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt.
Without your consent. Yes. Yeah, and man, I think we all really need to hear that. But
there's something that in Microsurfs, one of Douglas Copeland's books, he mentions that I went to my high school reunion, and it was fascinating that like everybody's bodies had grown older, but their souls had remained the same. The jocks were still jocks. This one girl was still shockingly naive. This other girl was completely vain. And I think Mia's right about this idea of there's certain things that you're just not going to choose to grow out of. And wrapping all of this up into what is still, I think, an optimistic teen movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the nihilistic view that I was getting into as a teenager with stuff like Heathers or Pump Up the Volume. This is still hopeful, but there's still plenty here to relate to. There's still plenty here that I see and understand and get. Now, Lily redeems herself. She does come back in the end. And
does she really redeem herself that well?
Yeah, she does, because she points out that do something with it instead.
That's true.
Become more than what you are. And it really does affect Mia. If we listen to Mia's acceptance speech, where she decides to become a princess, where she decides, I'm going to accept, because like up until the end, we do not know. And it looks almost like she is not going to do it. But the speech is, this morning I intended to not be a princess. And then I started thinking, and then I realized, how many times a day do I use the stupid word I?
Oh man, that really hit. Like,
it really does, because it's a moment of transcendence. Mm-hmm. The moment that you can stop looking at yourself as the main character in your story and look at it in a much bigger lens, a much wider way.
Like, can I go like early education mode here for a second? One of the things that I've been learning in a lot of my courses is like, well, children are very self-centered. They don't really know to think of others until they reach like a certain milestone.
Right,
and I'm like,
human.
and I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it takes a while for them to learn that empathy. You have to actively work with them on that empathy to actually realize that there are others that are more important for themselves. That's why it's so important for children to do daycare or preschool and have interactions with other children and other adults at such a young age. And you're absolutely right. It's a saying of going from that self-centeredness to showing empathy to those around you. Like,
it's entering a bigger world.
Yeah.
I'll go back to what we recorded last week. Last week we were talking about Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
And we talked about how Superman's not in the powers. That's got nothing to do with it. Clark Kent would still be Superman. He would still be trying to help the greater world, whether he had powers or not. And Mia has just stepped into that world.
Yeah.
Trying to make things a better place.
If only we actually got to see that.
Well, and you're right. If only we actually got to see that. And I don't really think we get to see that in the books even. But there's certainly something aspirational there. This is one of those, it's almost like Star Wars where I just want to say, okay, to be fair, there's really only one movie. Yeah, I don't care if there's a sequel. There's only one movie.
Anyways, no, but I do especially love a lot of the cast kind of going through this. I love, man, I really need, at this point we need to start drawing me up diagrams with pictures of people's faces and names. This is why I use the behind the scenes for voice actors, because I never remember names. I just know faces and pictures.
I make notes sometimes, but
no, I love our chauffeur. He's wonderful.
Okay, that is Joseph.
Joseph,
yep.
Yes. Sorry, like I said, I'm terrible with names. I love Joseph. He's fun. He is encouraging and also demoralizing at the same time, and he's wonderful.
He's dangerous without ever getting in your face.
That's true.
He radiates a sort of quiet authority, and he's genuinely good at it. And this is what I think both of us, it's like our favorite character. I mean, listening to him, it's just like, it's like eating freshly baked brownies.
I drew a character. I made a character like you once. He was a spy. I'm not a spy. That's what he said.
I know. So you're referring to the next door neighbor.
Well, yes.
And, yeah, but here's the funny thing. So the next door neighbor is a frustrated writer who just sits and watches Mia and her mom.
He sits on a writer's chair, like a director's chair, outside by his colorful trash cans.
No, that's mom's trope.
Still by the colorful trash cans, like.
And then he'll just narrate things as they're going on, and it's like, I want to be Joseph, I aspire to be Joseph, but I feel like you're really telling me I'm the neighbor. I kind of feel personally attacked.
Yeah, you did say, if you were in this, you would be him, or you'd be the random person playing the harmonica on the second floor building.
It's supporting characters. It just means everything. The random person playing harmonica, that is our love interest. That is Michael Moskowitz. That is Lily's brother, and he looks like somebody took all four of the Beatles and rolled them into one.
Exactly! I, legitimately, when we got a first look at him, I looked at him, and I was like, what? Huh? And I didn't say anything. But then when you said it, I was like, exactly!
Somebody has to say it first sometimes.
Yeah. And okay, so here's my thing with the love interest. We don't get enough romance for this love interest to make sense.
You're kind of correct. It's in the background. I don't know how much of it got left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I'm like, we get an occasional couple scenes. We get a couple things. There's nothing that really... If I'm being completely honest, and I hadn't had some idea that, this is like going to be somewhat romantic, I would have just thought they were like that he was her guy best friend.
You pegged the magician with the bright red hair as the love interest when he first showed up.
He has bright, colorful hair, and usually that's how they show the protagonist. But even then, I'm sitting and I'm watching this romance, and it doesn't make sense to me. And that part of that could be because generally, and this isn't a lot of writers' tropes, I don't enjoy the, best friend's brother romance trope. I don't like it. It's corny. It's bad to me, so that might have been why I'm partially put off.
Also in the real world, like in Bro Code, I don't know as far as girls to go, but in Bro Code, that's...
You don't date your friend's brother.
You don't do that. You just don't. That's kind of ew.
Yeah, it's...
My buddy Mike has an absolutely lovely sister, but ew,
like,
just no.
yeah.
I just no.
No,
She's
it's
just
like it's girl code, and like I said, it's the same way for girls, at least based on what I know. And it's just, I don't like it. It's weird to me. Like, I can understand for like the sake of trying to get the characters on on screen more often to have them be related. It gives them an excuse to be together more often. For the three of them to be together,
and it's
but,
a
like,
thing in the book too.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
I mean,
It doesn't
now,
make
to be
sense.
fair, we have 10 books before they get married.
Ugh.
So we get a much longer build here.
Yeah.
And it works better. We get our pitfalls and our highs and lows, and it does work a little bit. And I almost wonder if that's kind of why he's here. I mean, we have to have a love interest, and he's in the book, so this is how we're going to shoehorn it in.
Like, you know what I'm starting to kind of realize as we go through these, like, chick flicks?
Mm-hmm.
Fake love interest. Real love interest. Fake love interest tries to kiss you or tries to make everybody upset. Then you get the real love interest that comes in. Oh, I'm the best one. I think I'm starting to see a theme here.
I mean, the tropes are there for a reason. And, I mean, that's the whole point of part 2. The second movie is you've got to be married to be queen. And so that's when some generic British guy shows up, and he's competing with Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine.
How are you going to beat out Chris Pine?
I love Chris Pine in absolutely everything that he's done except Star Trek. Everything else is better. And I will say part 2 just feels so forced.
Like, we watched the trailer for it, and it just felt empty.
It's Julie Andrews is mattress surfing. We are trying so hard to shoehorn Raven-Symoné into this for no other reason than she's on contract with Disney, and it's just Lily shows up in the second movie, but she's just walking scenery, and it's just so bad. Like I said, Mom and I were out visiting friends down south, and we saw it came out, and we had time, so we ran over to the movie theater and we watched it, and it was such a drag, such a disappointment. I mean, I did not fall off of the book series until we hit part 12, I think, and they did the COVID propaganda. No, it's just well, let's talk a little bit about Mom too. Mom's interesting in the books, by the way, because Mom's the one with the real romance in the books. Mom gets involved with one of Mia's teachers.
Yeah, that
to the point where like he moves in and they get married, and it gets real weird, and it's just yikes. And Mom's just kind of generic, whereas this is a Disney movie. We've got to make her anything. We're going to turn her into a crazy artist.
The house is kind of cool, though. You gotta admit, some of the artwork and some of the stuff around it's kind of cool.
You just want a fire pole.
The fire pole was cool. I kind of want to walk around in this house just to, like, look at all... I don't know, the house is cool.
You know, see, here's the thing, though. We always take for granted that the way that we were raised is the way everybody else is raised. You live in a house with a crazy artist.
I do,
and there's
yes.
strange things in this house.
There are very weird things in our house.
The Mogwai on the Kermit phone over there, or the Dalek in the library, or
the many swords,
the Pac-Man machine,
hung up.
the many swords that are hung up.
The many, many swords that are hung up.
So, yeah, I feel like you could almost have a kinship here with her, in that it's like, okay,
She's just vibing with it, though.
Our buddy Dave does the same things to his trash cans. That's why I pointed out the colorful trash cans.
Yeah.
That's got to be crazy artist, Mom. The son of my mother's best friend, he decorates his trash cans in alien language and abstract art.
Yeah, his stuff is always super cool to find.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. And so I just feel like it all comes together it's all something that you might be able to relate to more than your average person.
I don't. It's like, I want to say I don't think we're that crazy, but to be fair, around certain holidays, it does kind of go a little crazy.
The other thing that that they do to give Mia a little bit of a quirk is to inexplicably give her a muscle car, this 66 Mustang.
It's so random.
It really is. Now, what she chooses for it. I actually knew guys growing up that were 14, 15 years old, and they had like saved money, and they bought basically burnt out hulks of cars. Just complete garbage. But they spent a couple of years fixing them up.
Oh,
so
okay.
Nate and Sam both ended up, when they were 16, having cars that they could own.
That's actually so cool.
And I feel like that's what Mia's doing here. So it's quirk, but it's not just... it's not completely out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just... It's one of those movies, I really like this. It's one of the, like, quote-unquote teen movies that I'll draw inspiration from when I'm trying to write something like that. Back when I was really trying to launch Violent Blue, the webcomic.
Oh.
This was one of the things I was looking at. Originally, it was supposed to be a kind of a teen thing, and it went through a couple of different stages. It turned into something a little different. But this is one of the ones that I was watching. Stuff like this, or stuff like 10 Things I Hate About You. Because it just speaks to me. There's something, it's more than just a Disney movie.
And it's definitely saying something that both you and my mother independently both said, oh, you're going to absolutely love this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's strange that I'm coming out of it like, okay, this is cool. I don't adore it, but it's great. It's fun. It's upbeat.
It might have gotten built up too much for you.
I genuinely think if I was a few years younger, it would have hit so hard. But I think I'm just a little outgrown of it. But even then, it's still such a good movie. I think I missed it by like a year or two. I'm glad that I've finally seen it.
For any of you out there who haven't read the books, it wouldn't hurt to check them out. Here's the thing. Mia is actually almost more like Lily in these. She's militant in her idealism and politics, kind of. But it like shows up and then it goes away, and shows up and goes away, and gets overwhelmed by her neurosis and by her... by the hilarity of her struggling through things. Even as she grows up and gets out of high school, goes to college, writes her first book. Her first book, the one that she writes, is an extra book. It's a side quest. It's published by
so
her
cool.
as transcribed by, again, Meg Cabot, official biographer to the Royal Princess of Genovia. This is a whole thing. And it's one of those where it's like, I enjoyed it. I recognized a lot of what I liked from this. But then on the other hand, there's times that it would drive me nuts. And I'm just like, oh, come on, please. You can't be serious. Well, no, you can't be serious. You're 15.
And I still think out of everything in this movie, I still think the cat was the best part. Isn't that right, Sparky?
Funny thing about the cat, though, there's like 4 different cats.
Oh, no.
So Fat Louie is played by like a bunch of different cats. But the thing is, each one does something well. Oh. One of them sits really well. One of them can be carried really well. One of them will look up really well. So it's interesting, yes. And you had a prediction about the cat.
I literally yelled. We were like not even a fourth of the way through the movie. Is the cat going to get a tiara? Yes, the cat got a tiara.
At the very end.
And I yelled, I knew it! And Sparky was sitting next to me on the couch, and I yelled, I knew it!
And Sparky looked up in shock.
He was a little scared. I was being a little loud. But I think that just about wraps up everything for the Princess Diaries, doesn't it?
I think so. This is a good one. This is still a classic.
Yeah.
It is peak Anne Hathaway. We will probably refer back to this whenever we get over to The Sound of Music or Mary Poppins, because we never even talked about Julie Andrews. What is Julie Andrews doing in this? You know what? We'll explore that question a little bit more fully once we get into some other stuff. In the meantime, we will see you next week.
Bye!